Hello, everyone, and good evening. I'm going to give folks an opportunity to jump on really quickly. Hello, 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 everyone. Please, as you are joining, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know. Let me know. Let's see. All right. Okay. We are on. I think we are on. All righty. All right, y'all, let us know that you're here. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Let us know that you can hear us as we are on this evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those of you that will catch this live, to those of you that will catch the replay. Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited about tonight's conversation. All right, the folks are jumping in. Good evening. Come on, let us know where you are jumping in from. Hey, Nikita from West Palm in the house. How are you, dear? Come on, jump in the room. Let us know that you are here. We again are super excited for the opportunity to have this conversation. All right, Orlando is in the building. Hello, hello, hello. All righty, all righty. The folks are jumping in. Well, good evening, everyone. Again, I am Winsome McLean. I think most of y'all know me. I am the owner of Soul Care Institute. I am a trauma and business coach. And I am grateful to be here tonight. So, hello to everyone who is a part of the Soul Care for Entrepreneurs community. Pastor T from Cambridge is in the building. Hey. Oh, God. Cambridge is in the house. All right, y'all. As you come in, just let us know where you're coming in from. We want to definitely say hello to you tonight as we engage this conversation. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you in advance for spending some time with us on this evening. I am going to allow Brandi to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself, the name of her business, etc., etc. And then we're going to jump in to this conversation that is centering around building trauma-informed entrepreneurs and why it is so important for us to understand the impact of trauma in the lives of people that we serve. All right. So, Brandi, welcome. Thank you for your yes. All right. So, tell the people who you are. Tell them about you.
Hello, everyone. I am the lovely Brandi Nicole Wallace, and I am the CEO of the Hair Clinic RX. I am a board certified trichologist, and I'm going to answer the $1,000,000 question: what is a trichologist? A trichologist is a paramedical science study, or trichology is a paramedical science that actually studies the hair and the scalp. So, of course, the trichologist is the professional or specialist. I'm also a holistic health practitioner and a trauma-informed practitioner. So, yes, yes, yes. So, thank you so much, Dr. Winston, for having me on tonight. I'm so
Oh no, I am so elated that you agreed and said yes to this conversation. And so we have a little history. So we met in Maryland when I was there this past last year. And well, last year, and was it also the year before that we met initially,
yeah.
right? So yeah, we met and I think we've just kind of been connected ever since.
Yep.
And so this last year,
Mhm.
you were a part of our building trauma informed leaders or coaches training. And so it was again so amazing to have you in that space. And so I want to, good evening. Beat the Rush Delivery. Hello. Tell us where you are chiming in from. Let us know where you are in the country. And so we met and yeah, have just been connected ever since, and was able to be in class together and just created a learning space, right, as it relates to trauma. Hey, Amanda Kid, that's you. All right, I got you. Oh gosh. And so I just want to like begin by just kind of defining, right, trauma, because trauma means different things to different people. Sometimes people will say, well, what you've been through doesn't warrant the term trauma, because we try to put, trauma into categories, right? And
Mhm.
so, trauma is anything that a person has experienced
Yes.
that there is some type of reaction to it, right? And so there's a brain reaction, there's a physical, there's an emotional reaction. And trauma is so unique to the individual.
Mhm.
I often use the example of we can both be in the same car accident and come out of it totally with two totally different experiences, right? One person can jump back in the car the next day, and then another person can stay immobile or not drive for the next 20 years, right? And so it's so individual to the human and how it is that they experience these events that happen. And so I want to know, my first question to you is, what led you into adopting like this trauma informed approach as it relates to the operations of your business and the services that you provide to your clients?
Absolutely. So, one, I'm drawn to like education and
Mm,
the mental. So that's number one. Number two, I see a lot of women with hair loss.
mm,
That is the bulk of, or the business model is hair restoration.
okay.
So every person that comes into my clinic has experienced some type of loss. So we know that there's multiple types of alopecia, um,
Mm,
hair disorders, diseases, scalp disorders, diseases. And so what happened, I would get a series of women or
mm.
cases where during the consultation, they're breaking down crying, or
Wow, wow.
they're like, oh my God, no, I don't want to cut my hair off. If I give them that recommendation, and I was
Right.
like, okay, you know what? I'm going to need some more information of how to filter through these cases,
Wow.
and really know how to give them another perspective, or know how to approach them in their experience, only because I just have, hairstylist background, and then now the trichology background. And trichology, we don't talk about the psychological costs,
Wow.
or
Wow.
the psychological reason to why someone has lost their hair. So I said,
Mhm.
okay, with some additional studies as far as what we do as a trichologist, and then pair it with being trauma informed, we can definitely make some improvement and assist the individuals at the clinic to have a better experience.
Mm,
Because I mean, sometimes all I can do in the consultation is hold them and be like, pray,
right.
or whatever, like let it out. But I said, no, I'm gonna need some more training on a different level. And so that's what drew me to actually adopt this type of um practice into my clinic. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I can only imagine when I think about how much of one's identity, right, can be wrapped up
Yes.
in,
Oh my
tied up in,
God.
right? How we look, how we present, and I think even more specifically for like women of color, there's like this expectation for us to always kind of be on, right? And
Yep.
to present
Mhm.
ourselves in a certain way. It's
Yeah.
kind of like for some it may be blatant because that's what your mama told you. Don't be
Yep.
going out my house looking crazy.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? But then some of that is also societal, right? Where other individuals can kind of go out looking however,
Hmm.
there's kind of this expectation that we look a certain way and present a certain way. So I can only imagine consulting with you and hearing like this treasure, your pride and joy, this thing that houses, a bulk of your identity has to be removed, or
Absolutely.
it's time to take this step, right? And so yeah, I can't even imagine being in spaces like that and not really knowing how, right, to hold space for
Listen.
these women. Oh God.
And I love the fact that you said like the identity,
Hmm.
because it is their hair is who they are. I know with me, my hair is my brand. So
Mm.
my hair is my brand, so this is, the platinum short blonde,
Wow.
in any capacity is a part of who I am and how I show up. So even if my color is off or my hair is not right, we have this thing in the industry is like, you look good, you feel good, and
Okay.
there's actually a company that actually provides wigs and things of that nature, so that, if you're going through loss and things of that nature,
Hmm.
you at least have, a resource or tool to be able to, in order to feel good, to at least look good, especially on
Right.
the outside. So yeah, that was a great point as far as highlighting your hair as your identity. So if you're anything like
Mm.
me, it's my brand.
Wow, wow. Now see that takes it, I think, to a whole nother level, right? Because
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You're representing, like, there's a story.
yeah.
There's a marketing kind of strategy behind it, right? And so, like, yeah, we gotta always make sure that what the people see is representative of that brand story.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah, no, that's another level. That's
Listen,
another level because
that
your
makes you say that
increase is
you go,
connected.
okay.
Yeah, that is a whole nother level. But yeah. And so, well, let me go off a little bit, off script a little bit. Why did you take that approach for um just kind of the whole branding and marketing thing? Because this is also a business space as well, right? And so
Mhm.
why did it make sense for you to go this route?
And this route meaning like the trauma
The
informed.
branding, just how the hair, all of
Oh,
that.
this route. Oh yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest. One day I told the Lord, I prayed and I said, I want to do something different because I've always had short hair in the
Okay.
industry, but it was pink, it was blonde, it was green, it was
Mm,
red. And I was like, I knew I was getting ready to transition into something major and great. And
okay.
so I was like, I actually prayed about it. And the Lord I woke up one morning and I heard platinum blonde. And I said, what? That was my exact like platinum. And I was like, I've never had no platinum, nothing. So I hit up my girl and I
Wow.
said, hey, like, I want to go platinum blonde. She was like, all right, let's do it. And ever since then, the Brandi Nicole, and it's really Brandi Nicole International, Brandi
Mhm.
Nicole shows up with short platinum blonde hair, neutral makeup, big lashes. So you either have
Okay.
like, so it's literally it's an image, like it is a brand.
Mhm.
So I may do a pop of color like a red lip, but you're gonna always 9 times out of 10 see me with a neutral makeup look, short platinum blonde hair. And so
Yeah.
that was the look that I was led in the direction to go in. And now I see ever since I made a mark in the industry. So
Yes.
well, they know that's Brandi Nicole. So yeah.
Absolutely. No, Brandy, you just did a whole master class in zero point 0.2 seconds. Like, seriously. And I hope that the business owners that are on here really hears and understand what you are communicating,
Yes.
that your brand precedes you, right?
Yes.
It
Mhm.
it 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 sets the stage for what people are going to expect when they encounter you,
Yep.
right? And so we really have to get our branding message and look clear,
Very,
right?
very much
Because
so.
that is how you're going to be known in the industry. Like,
Yes.
if I say Mercedes, if I say Coca-Cola, if I
Yes.
say Tesla. There are images that automatically come to our mind because
Mhm.
they have branded so well,
Mhm.
right? And they have become a household name, right? And so
Exactly.
when we're on point with our branding, our signature things, about us,
Mhm.
it makes it easier for us to become that household name. So yeah, so we
Yeah.
just veered off, but
Some
I think
entrepreneur stuff, some
right.
just to kind of help y'all out a little bit.
That's right. Because if you go on my site, you're gonna see the green, right? You're gonna see the green, you're gonna
Yes.
see,
Yes.
right? You're gonna know that this is what we're working with. So that level of consistency is so important. All right, so let's move on. I know I veered off a little bit. So how do you define trauma informed within the context of your business specifically?
How I defined it. So, what I've learned with okay, let's back up. I never knew anything about trauma informed anything.
Okay.
So following you, I was like, and like I said, when I heard, I was like, oh my God, this makes sense.
Mhm,
Um, Reason being is because when you look at trauma,
mhm,
like you said, is unique. So here it is. It's a distressing experience. And so understanding what trauma is and trauma impacts not only individuals uniquely, but there are different reasons that causes trauma. And so I
mhm,
said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to incorporate in trauma, being a, trauma informed coach or a practitioner in the business model of the hair clinic
mhm.
because of the hair loss portion. Um,
Okay.
someone may not have, um, well, no, I'm not going to say that. What I was going to say was somebody may have experienced major trauma, but I think we experience a lot, trauma, but not in, it may be different or
Mhm.
different capacities. But what I now understand is that hair loss is a form of trauma.
In and of itself.
But like, if you
By
don't or
itself.
never experience
Right.
hair loss is a
Right.
form of trauma. Um,
Wow.
Great case. And matter of fact, this is the case that I presented to you in class.
Okay.
Lady comes to me, she has a consultation. Come to find out, she lost her son.
Wow.
That was trauma situation number one.
Mhm. Mhm.
She lost her no, place of, well, she didn't lose it. She transitioned from New York to
Okay.
Delaware. So
Okay.
here it is, transition. So now she is experiencing more and more hair loss. She comes to me. Now I'm telling her, we're gonna have to cut your hair. Hold it,
Wow.
wait a minute.
Pause. 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 Right there. Like another thing is taken away from me. Oh God.
So now understanding what trauma is and now being trauma informed, now it literally has been the foundation, and I've now include what we learned in class, like the aces,
Mhm.
into the consultations. You have to
Wow.
tell me your story
Wow. Wow.
and
Wow.
get down to the bottom of like what happened,
Mm.
whether it's whether it's medical, whether it was stylist, whether you got in a fight, somebody pulled it. What happened that got you to this point? And then because this will help me also gauge the issue of um, how well you're able to receive my recommendations.
Come on.
Because if, like I told the lady, well, you're gonna have to cut your hair, and that was not me being trauma informed. Was not
Mm.
trauma informed, and I did not know how to approach this woman, and I did not take in consideration that she lost her son and then she had to move from New York to Delaware. So his transition, and even though she didn't lose anything, it's still, transition is still hard, whether it's a transition
Right.
of a job, transition of a loss of a loved one, transition period.
Mhm.
And so because I was not trauma informed, I added that extra hit, like, well, as a stylist or trichologist, the route to go is to cut your hair. And she's like, no, no,
Right.
no, I'm not cutting my, and she's like going off. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my God, what did I do? So now being trauma informed and incorporating that in my practice has now allowed me to be a lot more sensitive
Mm.
and have a more, and never, not that I wasn't compassionate before, but now
Hmm.
I am more aware of how to approach someone, even going through the transition of somebody going through hair loss.
Yeah. Wow. That is such a key example because one of the first components of being trauma informed and creating trauma informed spaces is safety,
Yes.
right? And we want to make sure that the people who we have been called to serve, they
Mhm.
feel safe around us,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And safety is not curated instantly. It's something that we have to build into. It's
Yes.
something that takes time, right? People have to know that we're interested in the person, right? Not just them receiving a service from
Yes.
us, you know? Wow. Now, are you still just out of curiosity, are you still connected to that client? Are y'all still working together? Like,
Yes.
okay,
So
okay,
she has been able to, we still have, she didn't cut her hair.
okay.
Not cutting her hair. However, I was willing to, again, create that safe space and compromise,
Okay.
to be able to still provide the hair restoration treatments. And so she's actually happy with the
Wow.
outcome, that we were able to at least provide without cutting. She does allow me to trim. So what I'm
Okay.
doing, I'm taking baby steps. So yes, we are still
Mhm.
connected. And she's, she's doing well. She's doing a lot better.
Brandy, again, like, oh, I hope people are really getting this because we have a model, we have a system, right, by which we do our work. So if
Yeah.
there's like any coaches that's listening, or in whatever your industry is, you have sat down and you've created this model. What do you do with that client that doesn't fit within the parameters of that model? What if my model creates anxiety? What if my model creates distress for
Yeah.
this client, right? Am
Yeah.
I flexible enough in being informed? Am I flexible enough
Mhm.
to make the adjustments and the accommodations to support safety while
Yeah.
still providing the necessary service that they need? That was beautifully said,
Yeah.
because just because she wasn't able to just be like, okay, go ahead and cut, now we get to negotiate and we get to figure this thing out, and she makes, I'm certain, so much more progress
Yes.
than if she would have just been like, well, no, Brandy, I can't do it, I'm leaving,
Yeah.
right? Just the mere fact that you stuck with her and accommodated her and have shown her other alternatives. Now I'm sure that her hair is even striving or thriving,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Because of that. But no, that's amazing. And again, I want folks to hear that when we are trauma informed, we allow the people, the needs of the people, to guide the decisions that we make. We don't walk into spaces so rigid that it has to be this way or it has to fit this way. Like, you come fit into my model. No, it's how do we do this together? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I'm glad you highlighted that, because trichology, period, is not a one size fit all,
Mm,
service anyway. When it comes to hair restoration, you literally have to take so many, there's so many components that you have to take in consideration, like,
mhm,
medical, you have hair styling, um,
mhm,
methodologies or whatever. You have, oh my God, let's see, family history,
mm,
personal history. So
mhm,
there's so many dynamics that you have to take in consideration and find out what the symptoms, and you can be multi-factor. So if you
mm.
are multi-factor, then the thing about it is then your treatment may consider multi-factor treatments. And so it can't be cookie cutter. And so
Wow.
it's the same way with being a trauma informed practitioner is, you have a foundation,
Hmm.
but then you have to actually compile all of the other training and the other dynamics as far as, okay, what's going to fit for this client so that this client does not go into like a flight or flight uh,
Come
mode
on.
and be
Come
like,
on.
all right, I'm getting the heck out of here because this lady,
Right.
she's traumatizing me more.
Right.
Honestly,
Right.
most hair care professional have done that.
Wow.
I've
Mm.
know I've known plenty of hair care professionals who are not even, and I feel like being trauma informed, even as a hair professional, can assist and help, because I know many that has,
Mm.
like me, many people do not want to go to the hair salon because of how they were treated in the hair
Wow.
salon.
Wow.
So hairstylists have traumatized an individual, and so because our industry is just not cookie cutter anyway, we have to take the case by case approach, and to be able to fit you know what this individual is going through and customize the experience.
Hmm.
So there's a customized experience, and with that being said, this is why my prices are not cheap. I'm not cheap. Like I'm premium all day.
Come And the people who are called to that price point will find you, right? We don't have to make no changes. We don't got to adjust. We don't got to do any of that. The people who, and if you're not there, work your way to there,
Yeah,
right?
I
Start
believe
tucking some things away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but get yourself there. No, you're absolutely, listen, this is a whole masterclass. Like, this is a whole master
it.
because it is so true that I think sometimes out of desperation, we will just latch on to whatever. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine, but not taking into consideration your years of hanging out in academia
Yeah.
to acquire the knowledge base that you have, the investments that you have made. The people are hollering out in this chat about this
I'm
premium.
premium. I'm premium.
Right, because and that comes with a cost, and the cost is to you. That came with a price, right? And so I love it when you said basically we're taking all this information that we have obtained from this client, and we're filtering it through the lens of being trauma informed,
Yeah.
right? And so that really positions you to then be able to again meet that person where they are at, and not actually take away but add value to their
Yes.
lives and to
Yeah.
their experiences. Child, I think we have all had our fair share. We did a poll with these folks that is online tonight. We have all had our fair share of trauma in that chair.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so you've kind of answered this question when when you talked about the client that you just shared with us, and how like in the moment she was having a freeze fawn reaction right there in front
Mhm.
of you
Yeah.
when you said to her, listen, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
So now when you are interfacing with your clients and you're doing your orientation or your assessment or whatever, are there any different ways that you kind of approach those conversations now?
So I've immediately added
Mm,
um added the ACEs to my process.
okay.
And what I love, so I think, because I do have a trichology friend on here, I have
Okay.
a trichologist on here. And so what I do love is I actually have a trichology CMR that allows us to take consultations. And
Okay.
in this software, it actually has the ACEs. And I was like, wait
Wow.
a minute. And I said, oh, that's why I think I sent the email and everything to you. And I was like, well, let me double check. And so what I've done was I've actually literally changed my intake process.
Okay.
So the whole entire intake process is completely different, because before
Wow.
it was just coming in and getting the hair loss assessment, nutritional health,
Hmm. Hmm.
medication, family, hair care. Now you have to answer these questions, and then you have to tell me your story.
Mm.
Now I have to make sure that you are a actual client for me. I'm now
Okay.
able to determine by the way people respond to, the trauma informed questions,
Hmm.
if you're even a client for me.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so I had to rebrand, and I had to, and it can be definitely, it's not stressful or strenuous or anything like that, but it could be definitely a little fearful,
Okay.
because now it's a new thing. It's like the fear of the unknown. Like, okay,
Sure. Yes.
because you're used to now um, doing the assessment, paying the
Hmm.
fee, giving them their diagnosis and treatment recommendations, and now they're
Hmm.
starting treatment. There are some clients that I have been able to turn away. There are some clients that did not even return, because after assessing, like, they're not ready. They're not ready for my
Wow.
service.
Wow.
So this has helped me be less stressful in my business, because I would get those clients like, you pay the fee and you say you want to sign up, and then I don't ever hear from you again. You fall off the face of the earth. But now I'm able to filter again through the clientele that comes in, and to be able to determine if we are even a fit, or even
That
if
is
you are
so
ready
good.
for me, because you may not be ready. But here's the thing, I'm able to at least give you enough information so that
Mm.
you at least know what's going on. However,
Mhm.
you have a disclaimer. Once I give you this information, I cannot guarantee that this will, get, better. It could possibly, progress to get worse.
Mhm.
And then these are the stipulation or the things that may happen if you come back, and you may have to pay more.
Wow.
So I'm able to really just go through the process with more confidence, to know, like, okay, this person is ready to move forward. And I've actually seen a tremendous difference, and because it's actually incorporated into my software, and I didn't have to sit and make up anything. It's literally, I was like, oh my god, like, I just felt like, I said, oh, I'm a for real professional now. Like, I'm legit. So I was so excited.
Oh my gosh. I love it. And so you're literally sharing with us how just being in the course, being trauma informed, how you have literally, and that I think for me that was one of the most important things, right? And so the whole case presentations are so important because we take real life situations
Yeah.
and begin to apply some of those trauma informed principles, right? So
Yeah.
that you can immediately take this information and transition or incorporate it into what you're already doing within your system. And so, literally, you're explaining to us how you were able to kind of do that seamlessly, but it did require a rebranding.
I
Right,
did.
because
Yeah.
now there are other things here that we're really tackling and working through. And the fact that you said that you were able to filter through, you are able to filter through, because some people, yeah, they might think that they're ready,
Yes.
but in all honesty, they're not even ready to face some
Yeah.
of the things that may have contributed to the loss.
Exactly. Exactly. I see it every day. Every day.
Wow, wow. One of the books that I think I referred to the group is The Body Keeps the Score.
Hmm.
And we just don't even realize how the impact of trauma, especially unresolved trauma,
Hmm.
how it manifests itself in our bodies. You know what I mean? And so we think about, autoimmune disorders, we think about, RA, we think about all of these things where the body is literally attacking itself, right? And how, and the research now is confirming without a doubt that those things are also connected to traumatic experiences that have not been worked through. So I just appreciate the fact that you actually took the information and ran with it.
Oh,
That
I'm not gonna make no investment and not apply it. Like, listen, we're not wasting no coins over here. I need my return on my investment.
right.
That's
I know that's right.
what to do. Uh-uh.
And I'm so grateful that there has been a return on the
Yes,
investment.
it really has. It has.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what else do you want to share, just as it relates to just really taking on this position of a trauma informed practitioner? How has it impacted you personally, even as it relates to business or just to you in general? How has that changed anything as it relates to you?
I'm so glad you asked that question because I think every entrepreneur needs to know this.
Mm,
What I'm about to get ready to say.
okay.
Um, this has helped me filter through the spirit of rejection
Mm,
because I didn't realize, even in my business, there were certain moments where anxiety will come because something didn't go right
mm,
or money was looking funny. And so I actually had to take what I've learned and actually walk myself through the
mm,
process of asking myself, Brandi, what happened and how did you get here? And why are you
mm,
responding
mm.
to this part of your business the way that you're responding? Like, I had to ask, I literally just went through this. I think I've done this like literally multiple times over, because depending on what shows up in my business would determine how I would respond. And so I had to ask myself, what happened? What happened? And so one of the things that I learned with me was, with a past experience, business experience, um,
Mhm.
it was the fear of failing. And
Mm,
also learned too was that when I procrastinate, it's even a form of self sabotage and also a fear of failing. And so what I did, I had to make a decision and say,
mm,
okay, not only understand why I'm going through this, but like what's stopping me. And what's stopping me was discipline, being disciplined,
mm.
and also creating systems. And so, as a trauma informed practitioner, I've been able to even help myself through processes where I was self sabotage, where I would procrastinate, where I didn't have discipline, where I didn't have systems. And now, I mean, I ain't mastered it, but at least I know what the issue
Yes.
is, and I now know how to respond. And
Wow.
so, when certain things now happen, it's like, what can I do? I can't change it. Let's work on what I can change. And
Right.
what it did was it humbled me to put
Mm.
pride aside and reach out for help, whether it was
Wow.
utilizing my free business resources or resources that, like, from class. I even like, okay, Brandi, put, like, you have the resource. I got my notebook.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
listen, everything that I've learned, I've created a box. I take this with me.
Wow.
Okay, go back to that
Wow.
part of class, that, talked about the neuroscience and things like that. So go back
Yes.
to that part and kind of, go back and connect the dots. And so
Wow.
I feel as though that it not only helped me, with my clients, it helped me personally as an entrepreneur. Um,
Mm.
and so now I can still move in areas where I wasn't confident. I can move now with confidence and give myself some grace.
Right.
I'm so hard on
Right.
myself,
Wow.
in performing and things of that nature. So, give myself some grace.
Oh, that was so good. That is so good because yeah, we're not exempt from this, right? Like, I think sometimes we got to be the first partaker. Like,
Yes.
we got to be the sacrifice before anybody else is, right? And so, again, I love that you have your binder and got all your notes and your
Yes.
handouts in there, and probably your ebook in there.
Oh, everything. Yes. It is. Yes. I used up a lot of ink to get this done. So.
Okay, for real, for real. Oh my gosh, Brandi, this has been amazing. I really, really, really want to thank you for just taking the time out to share what it means for you to now be a trauma informed practitioner, and how that plays out in real time in the work that you are doing with your
Yeah.
clients. And I know without a doubt that they are the better for it, right? That we're filtering things through this lens. And so I appreciate it. Like, what would you say to that business owner, to that trichologist, to whomever, that coach, that mentor, that really have not taken the time to consider a trauma informed approach? What would you say to that individual?
Um, Look at the parts in your business where you did not feel or deem or seem successful.
Mm,
Um, Go back and take a look again, but by way of being trauma informed. I actually recommend every business owner to be trauma informed in some capacity,
mhm,
because it will literally help you bridge the gap, or
mm,
those missing, or those gray areas, should I say, those gray areas that really did not make sense. And so I feel as though um, that this will be able to assist in the journey of increasing productivity
mhm.
in your business, increasing confidence,
Wow.
increasing, discipline. It just gives you enough. This information gives you another level of revelation, and this is something that I've always even coached my clients with, and even my students, is information plus revelations will grow the confidence that you actually need.
Mm,
I promise you, with those two components together, it literally will breed another level of confidence in you, of knowing how to progress and move forward. Because a lot of times we hit plateaus, we don't know
yes.
how to pivot. It's like we don't know what to do next. And what happens is we're triggered, depending on that transition, we're triggered and then we stay stuck, right?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
But because of being trauma informed, I just encourage every entrepreneur to at least in some capacity to get trained, get the information, the knowledge, so that you'll have revelation. I mean, even in class myself, like, I wanted to cry because I was like,
Mm,
I didn't even realize, like, wow, like, there's some personal things that I even endured and didn't realize that,
wow.
I was, not even failing to deal with, even by way of prayer.
Mm,
Sometimes we suppress things, or we utilize prayer as a crutch too. Um, and again, we don't have the proper info. We may have the revelation of something, but there's always a missing component. And
right.
so with those two things together, I really believe that it will assist the entrepreneur to really, really be more confident and moving forward, especially when it's time for them to pivot
Mm.
and move forward.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's such an encouragement. I hope to those that are listening, but definitely encouragement to me, to stay in the vein, right? Like, to
Yes,
really continue this work,
yes,
because it is so important. It is so necessary that we become more aware. We in class, and we're running out of time, but in class we gave the statistics, right? One in
Mhm.
four, 1 in 5 individuals have suffered some type of traumatic experience, and we believe that that number is higher, right?
Yeah,
Because trauma is personal to the
yeah,
individual.
yes,
And so, with that being said, you're probably going to have somebody send you a DM, somebody call your business, somebody walk through your door that has gone through some type of experience that has left an indelible mark on them.
yes,
And when we can engage these individuals in a way that is cognizant of the fact that maybe this person has gone through something so deep and so difficult, and I need to handle them with care,
yes,
right?
yes,
Just really considering what the outcomes could be and how that could literally change the trajectory of their life. And so I appreciate that. Thank you for reminding me that this work is important and that it is necessary, and we got to keep doing it, even though there are people that would say, "Child, we don't need all that, we got prayer, all we got to do is pray about it." We know that we can add to, right?
exactly. Add to it and multiply.
Right. No, for real. So, Brandi Nicole, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing. Everyone is just, commenting on your transparency and just how open you have been in this conversation. And so I absolutely appreciate you. I want you to tell the people how they can connect with you. And as I was thinking about tonight's conversation, Father said that when you say this to Brandi, make sure you say this. So here's what Father said,
Okay.
that I'm going to ask the people to connect with you. And when they connect with you, make sure you're keeping them engaged. Make sure you coming on and you telling us something. Oh gosh. So tell the folks how they can connect with you, Brandi.
Yes, ma'am. That is so funny. Um, so you can connect with me on all platforms. Hair Clinic RX. Hair Clinic RX. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, Brandi Wallace, as well as Brandi Nicole International. So those are the platforms. And for those of you who know someone that is struggling with
Mm,
hair loss, scalp disorders, psoriasis, eczema, inflammation of the scalp. There's
mm,
so many, components,
right.
visit my website, hairclinicrx.com, and you can book a free hair discovery call,
Okay.
or you can book a restore consultation. So, and I'm in 2 locations. I'm now in Baltimore. So
Okay.
Salisbury and Baltimore. So yes.
Awesome. So what about the individuals that might be in Georgia or Florida or Texas?
So
Are they
we
able to connect with you as well?
Yes. So we actually do have telehealth. We do have virtual. So we can
Okay.
definitely have virtual conversation. I'm glad you said that because I always forget about that. But yes, we can do virtual consultations as well. And that
Perfect.
option is online.
Awesome. Perfect. Perfect. I hope that those of you that have been able to experience Brandi Nicole tonight have been as blessed as I am. For those of you that have rocked out with us in this conversation, thank you so much for spending some time with us this evening. Reach out to Brandi if you have questions, if you need a consultation, if you need to refer your cousin, your auntie. Might not be you, but you might know someone who is in desperate need of her service. Know that they're going to be in great hands,
Absolutely.
because she is going to handle them with so much care.
Yes.
And so I appreciate everyone so much for being here tonight. We got, you're amazing. Yes, she is.
Thanks, Apostle.
Doctor, what's up? It's so good to see you tonight. Another one of our students. She was a student. She was a student. And so grateful that you all are on tonight. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you so much. So for those of you that are curious about this course that everybody's talking about, that Brandi was talking about, that we just got done talking about, this is a 6-week course that we do over here at Soul Care. And yeah, we walk through the gamut of what is trauma, how does trauma impact the body, the brain, the nervous system. We get a little geeky with that kind of stuff, but you know, I love it. And we really talk about, you know, how do we become trauma informed, and what are the things that we need to incorporate in our businesses that allows for that level of care. And so look out in the group, just look out for flyers. We're going to start up a new class really, really soon. So just look out for flyers, and you'll be able to register and come into a safe space where you can learn, not just for your client's sake, but also for your sake. All right. So good night, everyone. Thank you again so much for being here. We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to y'all soon. All right. Bye.